and whatever I see is smiling at me. Love is who I am. Hello there, beloved Ascension pioneers and all you lovers of life out there. So this is just a short update for all of you, my beloved Ascension pioneers, because I want to share something that I've mentioned in my previous video, but I want to really emphasize, go a little deeper into what is the meaning of this, because I've been contemplating quite a lot on this, and I've seen how excited I was about it when I actually did the first little experiment, with that. So in my previous video, I have announced that from this year on, starting in 2018, in January, of course, I will be sending free or gift oracles, oracle layouts, which are gifts of emanation of grace to all my supporters. So people who donate, to my cause, to my devotion to selfless service, to bring back the light of illumination or the truth of illumined realms, and how to embody it here in our sometimes, tumbling and stumbling humanity. So I really wanted to announce this, not just, that it's at the end of a video, because I don't know how many people actually hold out at the end of the video. But I wanted to really emphasize what this is about, because for a while now, I really wanted to, besides everything I already do, but I wanted to gift back. I wanted to, gift, this, something extra to those who support my, selfless service and devotion to spirit. But I wanted to, again, do it in a way that, again, brings back this establishment of what is this infinite loop of giving and receiving, which are actually one. And that's what I was seeing, because I was contemplating the whole notion of this and whether this is something I should implement or not, because for a while now, I don't like to do things mentally. I like to do them when a calling comes through spirit. And for a while now, I've been contemplating, how to put rewards, or how they're called, to people who sponsor me on Patreon. And, there's not a whole many people there. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I wanted to start out in a way so that people could feel, how does it feel when you give selflessly? Because that's what a donation means. It means you, through this unconditional flow of overflowing and sharing this abundantly without thinking too much, without analyzing, you're just going and following your heart. And the gifts of this unconditional receiving that comes in the same way. So as you know, I have many things I offer on my page because it is a part of my work. So I have sessions available. I have spirit transmissions or soul readings, which align with the current ascension timeline or pathway of people who request these readings. And this, what I do on YouTube with the public videos, is meant to address a little bit of the bigger audience. And again, it's unconditional sharing. It's not the same as my work, that, the courses that I do, the extra teaching, which goes much more in depth for self-mastery and life force mastery pathway for those devotees of spirit. But in either way, it's still work. I go here, I share all these extensive courses that are also freely available. But I was really contemplating on the notion of how to implement that. So the idea was to send all those who support me this Oracle of Illumination, which is a layout of messages of illumination only. And with the selection of the crystals I'm also intuitively guided to. And what I want to now in this video specifically talk about is that the way I do that with such joy is much different than perhaps when I do videos and readings, because it's based more on pure emanation. So as a part of, being an overlighted group of illumined ones, which is it's my soul family, it's my light family group, I'm really always so ecstatic when I'm just feeling this presence, this depth of sharing, which is nonverbal. It's not even telepathic, it's just an emanation of what spirit is translating in a way that's beyond what we know as communication that we use as humans. So I want to again specify that these are gifts, and they have, or they carry the codes of light within them. And I've always been that way. When I pull cards, it's because I'm so connected to spirit. You know, everything that comes, it's always concurrent. It's very much aligned. Even people who had soul readings with me, they were surprised at the accuracy, accurate rate of how everything kind of came together, and everything was like enmeshed in this beautiful synchronicity and the storyline wanting to share itself. But when I did my first batch of these, when I actually was guided and pulled to start with this, I actually felt such a profound level of joy, because it was, you know, you share something, someone, let's say, donates, and then you give more, so that people can see. I wanted to do this so people could see this is not just about, you know, me requesting down, donations or so, because I never do. You know, I always say, if anyone is called and guided to support my work, and they can realize the many hours, or it's not just hours, but the willingness, the devotion that goes into all of that. And if they're called somehow, you know, to contribute, then they can see how the flow always comes back to them. So this was the message that Spirit showed me. So when I did my first batch of these readings, and I'll show you some of the oracles I'll be doing these with, I actually had such an overflowing feeling of joy, because this is not, you know, something you share, you receive back, and it's the end of the story. Our reverberations are supposed to go on and always multiply itself, because that's how we co-create within a multidimensional, multiversal structure of our divine humanness. So this was something I really wanted to offer, and I want to show you. After I did my first batch, I actually pulled some cards for the whole idea, for this notion that I got to do that. And I actually got these two cards. Yeah, one was prosperity and the other one was heart chakra. And this was the message: how much prosperity, that flow of infinite abundance, amplifies when we give from the heart, when we're just aligned in this constant selfless sharing, this giving, which is not like a linear or limited giving, but it's this unconditional, unlimited flow. Because I've noticed a lot of people are given, but sometimes the giving comes from the mind, which tells you you must give to be a good person, or you must give. I've witnessed a lot of people also, you know, now we have this huge community of readers, tarot readers, oracle readers, and it's again, it's different levels of how people read energies. But a lot of that, when I tune into it myself, it's just too mental. It's a lot of words, it's a lot of scenarios. And for those of you who are entering this path of pure spirit and communing with your own life force and seeing how simple it can be, is you're witnessing the simplicity that goes beyond the words. And whenever I do these, it's just an emanation of grace. And it's an essence, you know, the message in itself is an essence, and words are not needed, because, again, it would just disrupt the flow. So these two messages that came, prosperity and heart chakra, basically confirm that this path of just putting ourselves in our emanation, which is guided through the essence level rather than the mental level of, okay, you know, this is my work, I need to do this and that to get supported. It has to be aligned. That's why I always contemplate on things. I really contemplate, and sometimes things don't come directly, and people might go, well, you know, what's she doing? But I'm doing that because it's about the alignment. It's about something that comes, is, for me, it might pile up for a while, but then when it's the right thing within the right time, and the nature of divinity in such a way, it goes like this. It's an instant click. So that's how this idea actually happened. Because for a while I was contemplating on it, if perhaps the time wasn't right. I was doing a lot of things. I was very busy. And I've witnessed that the more supported I am from the group that, you know, I share all this with, the more I am actually also freed up energetically to also offer more. And that's the whole idea of this. So I actually did my first batch yesterday, and the feeling of the frequency was rising so much. You know, and because people didn't know, because I didn't announce it so publicly yet, some people were really surprised and really excited about the messages. So, yeah. So I wanted to just quickly now do the introduction before this gets too long. The cards I will be using will be only the decks that I really find super illuminated. So I'll be using decks like Lightworker Oracle. I love this one. Beautiful, profound messages. The Activations Oracle, just as well, very beautiful. Oh, this is probably my favorite, the Crystal Mandala Oracle. Then we have the Oracle of Angels, also beautiful, illumined artwork. Universal Love. And this is my recent most favorite, Crystal Angels. This is very beautiful. And again, each, it's like an illumined oracle. Each one will get 3 cards and aligned crystals that go along with that, which will be something I'm intuitively pulled to. And the energetic structure of all combined is an essence. It's a message that emanates an essence. Again, I want to say these are not readings. This is not, oh, you know, I'm getting a reading with Polona Aurea. This is about that flow, you know, the people who really support the work and me unconditionally, again, you know, gifting back, because it doesn't end with, okay, pressing donate, or, you know, I really want, my desire for the community is that we learn what does it mean to be a selfless, overflowing state of, you know, the cup always runneth over. And a lot of people say, yes, yes, I know that. But when it comes to something they're always constantly participating with, but never exchanging or, you know, putting their own input, it's not the same as your cup. When your cup truly runneth over, it's not just for you. It has to be, you know, applied, perceived and applied in a way that it goes beyond you. That's what it means, runneth over. It's not just you and your life, you're fulfilled, you're happy. And a lot of people think that's all that it's about, but that's not really what that means. The state of overflowing is the state when you are a conscious and constant pure vessel for spirit. And because of that, there is no borders. Like, this is me, this is my life, these are my desires, this is my fulfillment. And it's been always my desire to help people reach this state and to see how supported you are when you selflessly give of yourself, whatever kind of way. So now get to the technicalities part. I want to say that it doesn't matter what kind of contributions you did, whatever, you know, it starts this year. I know a lot of people probably donated sometime in the past. I don't know that. There's too many of you. I can't go digging through the archives. But in any way, if you want to contribute, you want to be part of this, not to get the message, but really just feeling like there is a calling, you know. It's not like, oh, now I'm going to donate to get the message, because that's not what I'm trying to do here. It's unconditional. It's always going to be, you know, continuing as I'm going to do this work, unless I'm guided differently along the way, somewhere along the pathway. But I want to say there's people who support on Patreon, and this is month per month, but sometimes people go and then they delete their patronage. Sometimes, you know, they come, and I decided to do every month when there's a payout, I really want to, you know, give a monthly reading to everyone who does that via that platform. But because Patreon doesn't give me the details of the people, because it's via that platform, it's not via my email, I want those of you who perhaps are a part of that structure and who support me there, please write me an email. My email is always down in the description box or in my channel description. It's my webpage, Serapina Light. You can go to my donation page to see more as well. So please send me an email if you want to receive the message and if you want to receive them. And if maybe somewhere along the lines of, I don't know, it was somewhere during the holidays or somewhere around close to now, if you perhaps felt you donated but you want the message, and I can go back through the archives because there's too many emails. So I just ask you to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just me, one human, and probably a lot of you. So I want to say that the idea here is much deeper than, you know, I want to do this, you know, but for a certain reason. But I also was shown that maybe for some people who really want to receive an emanation of energy from me, because a lot of it's not for me, you know, it's just the way I commune with spirit. And a lot of people, I've shared this with you before, want to often chat me up, but this is not what I do. So the level of the work I do is through pure essence. And people who are open enough in their heart, they have felt this. They felt this before through just the exchange. But this is a little deeper exchange. And because it's so unconditional, I invite you to, you know, just contemplate if that is something that you can envision for yourself, perhaps not, you know, through me, but something that you can maybe implement in your own life as a part of this, because as Ascension pioneers, we are meant to establish these new pathways in an unconditional way. So that's it. You know where to find me. Please send me an email if you're on Patreon. Everyone gets the message from now on. Doesn't matter, whatever kind of amount. It's not about that. But I wanted to say that maybe for people who say, wow, I really want to work with me, you know, but they can't. Maybe some people can't afford it, or they don't have the funds as of now. So this is in a way that they can, even with a very small amount of support, they can receive the message just as well. It's nonverbal, but it's much deeper. It's essence-based. And when I did my first batch yesterday, it was really beautiful. I really felt the energy in it. I really felt the group. So thank you for staying so long to receive and be a part of this feedback or this update, and then perhaps feedback from you. Thank you so much. We'll do more videos coming soon. I'm quite exhausted at this time. I was doing a lot of things at once. So we're going to see how this flows. I'm going to talk to you again very soon. Thank you for being always here and joining within the group consciousness level and seeing this beautiful essence self and how it transforms through these simple acts of grace. I want to say again, as always, with love, wisdom, and power, and I'll see you very soon.